Hey folks, Jay Barino here, continuing StarCraft Mass Recall, StarCraft Brood War Remake, and StarCraft 2. Continuing the stand, Dunes of Shakuras, Mission 2 of the stand. We'll see how welcoming the Dark Templar decide to be. Protoss base camp on the planet Shakuras. We did very well last mission. Did not have to reload at all.
Entaro Tassadar, Executor. The survivors from Ire have made it safely through the gate. Yet, amidst the chaos of our retreat, we lost contact with Phoenix and Raynor. I fear that they may have been overrun by the Zerg.
Fear not, Artanis. Phoenix is as stalwart a warrior as I have ever known, and the Terran Raynor has proven himself to be highly resourceful in the past. I for one believe that they made it here safely, but while we wait for word from them, we must reconnoiter the surrounding area and find a suitable location for a more permanent settlement. Once we're situated, we can begin to search for the Dark Templar.
Whatever you say, Zeratul. Establish a base, find the Dark Templar, let's go. We're going to start with a very small group of units. I realize now they could use the Shakuras tile set from Legacy of the Void. Kalai's scouting party somewhere on Shakuras. What tile set were they using in the previous versions? I don't even remember. Maybe I'll go back and look after this, but let's go. 4 zealots, 4 probes, creepy looking statue. Okay, let's lead with the zealots. Got a new planetary profile here. Make sure to pause and read that if you're interested. If you play Mass Recall yourself, obviously you can read it and it will be stored in your codex. Very neat little feature that was added with bank data. Okay, so I think there's going to be a few Zerglings on our way. I'm not sure if it's possible to avoid them or not. I mean, we might be able to sneak around them, but they might just pop out later and bother us if we don't kill them along the way. There they are. I knew there were a few Zerglings here. Okay.
Executor, there are Zerg on Shakuras. They must have taken control of the warp gate on Ire.
I was wondering, I'm like, what is going on here? But then I realized the base is meant to be set up down here. So let's go ahead and set up a Nexus probably right here. It's kind of in a weird spot, but let's go ahead and do that and get 1 pylon. Now, what's going to happen is we have to sit here and wait. We have to wait for the Nexus to complete, and then Hydralisks are going to spawn back here and down here and just, like, on 3 sides of us. So I'm hesitant to put up a pylon because it may just be destroyed. I'd rather that my Nexus take the brunt of the assault. I'm going to leave my probes sitting by the zealots. The time it takes for 1 pylon to complete is relatively minimal, which is why I'd rather wait. Because, again, I don't really want to risk it going down. Actually, no, if I do set one up, I could do it, like, right here. And just leave the zealots to defend this area. If Hydralisks spawn behind our base, we just, they can hit the Nexus, and that's fine. We really just need the zealots to defend the pylon from going down and try to keep these probes alive as well. And, yeah, again, it's just sort of a little, Hydralisk ambush that's based on when your Nexus is either finished or close to finishing. I don't remember what the original triggering was based on, but I think it's when the Nexus completes. So there's really nothing to do except just wait for this to complete, and we'll see if we can keep some of our zealots alive while we get started here. We got to get mining right away, but I'm not going to run my probes back here because it's going to be bad news bears. Pretty much as soon as this completes, I'm expecting it to happen. Huh? Yep, I see him. I see him unburrowing. All right, zealots, come on down here. Probes, just stay away. Zealots, try to stay alive. Zealots, why don't you just stay alive? Let the Dark Templar get in there. The Dark Templar come to save us. Just run around. We don't have control of these yet. Okay, there's only a couple left. All right, so I managed to save everything.
Well, Zeratul, glad I am to see that you've returned home after these many decades. But the strange guests that have followed you here seem ill-tempered. Well met, my brother. Indeed, these creatures known as the Zerg have no regard for the sanctity of life. Once we have secured this area, I shall tell you everything I know about them in council. I'm sure the matriarch will be eager to hear your tale as well.
I'm sure she will.
Executor, we have received a transmission from Raynor and Phoenix. They are still alive and are fighting to retake the warp gate on Ire. We must secure the gate on this side without delay.
For Ire.
Okay, so we have to find the warp gate. It's along the way to the enemy base, so we'll worry about that later. Let's get another pylon here. It's kind of a slow start because you start with 4 probes and not even a nexus. Kind of a lame start. I really don't like missions where you have to build your town hall at the beginning. It's just sort of a pain in the ass. So we just sort of look around here. There's a way down and across this little river area, and there's an expansion in the bottom left. But we'll worry about that later. Let's just sort of spread our Dark Templar out, and these Dark Templars should be enough to defend for a little bit of time until we get set up a little bit more. Still going to need probably one more pylon before we get our first gateway anyway, so let's just keep making probes and see how it goes. We'll see what happens. You know, if I have to get a gateway and really fast zealots first, I will do that. Hopefully we can mostly avoid it. I mean, we can also just leave these guys on the ramp, and they'll kill anything that comes in. Zerglings might be able to fit by them, but that'll be fine. I won't put them on hold position or anything like that. Just keep getting more probes. I'm going to throw down one more pylon. Doesn't really matter where. I just want to make sure that I have pylon coverage and a little bit of extra available supply to use. So we're just going to sit here. We'll worry about getting gas in a little bit of time. Right now I just can't really afford to even get the assimilator, let alone saturate it completely. So there's a Zerg base kind of in the bottom right, which is our ultimate goal. We can expand to the bottom left, which may be priority number 1. It just depends on how fast we can take it, and frankly, I don't really feel comfortable leaving my base at this moment, so that's why I'm not going to do it. I am going to throw down my gateway, though, because I would like to start getting shield batteries as soon as possible. Shield batteries, though, have been fixed, quote, fixed, so that they won't... They'll no longer heal buildings. They'll no longer heal building shields, which is it's a good change because it was never supposed to be like that in the first place. That was a carryover from Legacy of the Void. So let's go ahead and grab our assimilator. We have no gas. We're gonna need it because eventually we're gonna need dragoons. I don't really even remember what tech we have available. Looks like pretty much everything. Is this supposed to be this way? I know that we can't get enable scouts, corsairs. I don't remember what tech we were supposed to have at this point in the game, but for the most part, I'll probably be sticking with a very basic composition. If anything, I'll throw in a couple Reavers or maybe High Templar, but otherwise, I don't want to go overboard with high tech. I kind of want to just beeline my way towards the end of this mission. He says now at 8 minutes. We'll see what happens when that timer says 40 minutes. Oh, hey, Jay Barina, remember when you said blah, blah, blah? Yeah, so let's go ahead and grab a few more Zealots. I'm going to grab a Cybernetics core when I have 200. And we'll just keep getting probes. I'm going to need another pylon, actually. Let's go ahead and make a pylon down here so that we can fill this up with a couple cannons and shield batteries. Shield batteries first, eventually photon cannons later. I assume we're going to get hit by some sort of air assault over on this side anyway as well. So we'll get another Zealot. The Dark Templar are okay, but honestly, when Zerg don't have detection, they're good, but those Zerglings are just going to run by them. So that's why I'm just going to go ahead and... leave the Zealots down there. Let's go ahead and grab our Cybernetics core. Probably want to get another gateway here pretty soon. And there are some colonies down in the bottom left, which is why I don't feel confident to just go with Dark Templar and take it. It's gonna take a little more effort than that. Let's go ahead and get more pylons. Or we can get a forge. Let's go ahead and get a forge. The faster we can start some upgrades as well. We can get a couple of those cannons like I was mentioning. Just we're gonna be... Because we start with virtually nothing on this map, it's just going to be consistently challenging to deal with. All right, the Hydralisks can see the Dark Templar. Try to keep those alive. And we lost a Zealot in that attack. So those attacks are getting larger, and they're coming with Overlords. And that is okay as long as we get, we get 1 or 2 photon cannons and a good amount of shield batteries that'll keep my Dark Templar and Zealots alive. The Forge is done. Still getting more probes because I don't feel that this is really fully saturated, but I will grab one and throw it on gas. Ground weapons level 1, let's get it started. The faster you can get those ground weapon upgrades, the better, in my personal opinion. We can start getting Dragoons as well. So we're going to move towards that. I'm already getting that Singularity charge. Probably want to grab a Citadel of Doom pretty soon. I have to prioritize what I'm going to get, though, with my money. So for now, let's just go ahead and throw down a couple shield batteries up here at the front. They're relatively cheap. And the earlier you get them, the more energy they'll have later, so it'll be absolutely worth it. I don't want to wall myself in completely, though, because then my larger units won't be able to get out later. So we'll just get maybe like 2 or 3. That realistically should be all we need. Still, when the shield batteries are building, you can't really box them. It's just a mild thing that needs to be fixed, if it will be fixed at all. I don't think that the Mass Recall team really plans on updating much more beyond the most recent patch. They left a little note on their download page saying, they've done the best they can and they may revisit it eventually. It's just right now because of the time commitments, they just really can't do much more, which I think is fine. It's it's nice that they're going to be upfront, because people will continue to submit bugs and be like, why is the Mass Recall team responding to us? Yada, yada, yada. So they were pretty much upfront and said, we think we fixed all the major bugs. There may be a few things here or there, and one day we'll come back and revisit, but for now, enjoy Mass Recall. And this is version 6.2.1, I believe. So unless there's going to be a really small hotfix, I don't expect to see much more after this. And I am completely comfortable with that. Give me that Citadel of Adun. Leg enhancements, please. Okay, now we're getting some cash. Let's start getting some Dragoons. Get a good amount of Zealots and Dragoons out. I don't think I'm going to get any Scouts, but what I do want to start getting are some Photon Cannons along the outsides of my base in case Mutalisks decide to come in. I do know how they quite like to set up those enemy attacks such that... Alright, there's the shield batteries going to help us out as our Zealots run to their deaths. It kept them alive a decent chunk of time. I'm comfortable with that. Alright, we're losing a couple Zealots per attack. And if we just set up a couple extra cannons here on the outer edges, eventually Mutalisks are going to start coming as well. But the idea is we get a couple Photon Cannons here as well to support our ground forces that are trying to hold on, and they'll be able to last a lot longer. Just keep a couple Zealots in the front, get a few more Zealots to replace the ones we've lost, and we can eventually get a Templar Archive to get more Dark Templar. Dark Templar are good, but they're very fragile, and you're going to be hard-pressed to find a time where the enemy does not have detection anywhere on really any of these maps. And I think they're programmed to send an Overlord over if something's getting attacked anyway. So for the most part, I don't really plan on worrying too much about using Dark Templar tactically in some way. They're better for defense, I think, especially if you can snipe any of the Overlords coming in. Alright, so we got our +1 that's done. I'm going to get some more Dragoons and move out here very soon to try to take the bottom left, or I could just make a force and try to go win with what we have. But, getting more gas income, this is eventually going to get mined out. I suppose let's go ahead and grab a Templar Archive, not only for upgrades, but to get some High Templar and Dark Templar. Getting some Psionic Storm to defend going to be excellent. Assuming we can make them. I think we can, unless this is exclusively just to make Dark Templar. No, we can make High Templar. I assume most of the tech tree was unlocked in this map, in the original map. I think it was, and I'm gonna assume that the Mass Recall team, if this was left this way accidentally, it was probably more of a bug and not like a huge oversight or anything like that. Everything's been so accurate up until this point. Okay, let's get one more gateway. Anywhere is fine. We gotta get a couple cannons over here. Let's go ahead and grab Kadarin Amulet and then Psionic Storm right after. Okay, so we're walling this in with the Zealots. As you can see, the cannons doing a great job back here. They are not getting healed by the shield batteries. The Zealots go down really, really quick. The Dark Templar are doing their job, though. Okay, wonderful. So let's grab that Kadarin Amulet and then go ahead and pump out 2 additional... So the starting energy isn't a big deal, so let's get 2 High Templar now so that they can start getting some energy. And then just get a couple extra Zealots, because we're going to be moving out here pretty soon. I don't think we can get... Can we get +3 on this map? I don't know. That would be a little wonky, but... Again, this is Brood War, so the tech trees have already been introduced. We'll get Corsair's next mission. Probably, again, taking a little bit more time than I necessarily have to, but the Zerg are attacking slowly, and I can sort of take my time, and I'd like to set up these cannons over here for the inevitable Mutalisk attack that's going to circumvent our defenses. I just know it's going to happen. I don't distinctly remember it happening, but I just have a feeling that it will happen. I really only need 1 or 2. Yeah, there they are. We're going to keep these High Templar just sort of hanging out here, and they're going to be able to defend us completely. If we move out with everything, we just keep those Dark Templar at home. They storm, the cannons clean up anything that's left. The AI does seem to be functioning in a way that... the AI definitely seems to function in a way that reacts to storm, though, which is really cool. Let's go ahead and get a couple more Dragoons. Can even pull 1 extra probe off here to fully saturate this gas. I mean, getting 2 Nexuses here might seem frivolous, but almost worth it if you want to. I mean, you have to put 2 extra probes on there, so you're realistically only spending about 300 minerals on the Nexus, because that's 2 less probes that you have to saturate this gas with if you're further away. Maybe even more if you build your Nexus in this direction. Either way, really random stuff here talking about this. All right, let's go ahead and hotkey. And I suppose I'll bring the Dark Templar with me as well. I think this is a nice force. I'm going to let the Zerg attack me one more time, and then probably move out. Clear out the bottom left just so that I can take that base if I so choose, and then start swinging towards the Warp Gate. And we can build up another set of defense a little further out. All right, I see them gathering. Get in there, Zealots. Move on up, Dragoons. Might as well support. Get everything in there so we're taking less damage than necessary. These attacks are large, but we're able to bottleneck them very easily on the ramps. Okay, Psystorm upgrade will be done soon enough, so let's go ahead and start moving across this little bridge. You could set up defense down here too and bottleneck them on the bridge, which may be better, I'm not really sure. Let's go ahead and just rally on up here, get some more Zealots, lead with the Zealots. Did I lose a Dark Templar? I think I must have, unless I left him behind. Yeah, looks like I lost 1. That's okay. All right, let's move on in. There's no detection down here. I could have used the Dark Templar exclusively. I always thought that there was detection down here, but I guess not. We will destroy all this stuff, though. It may be necessary, like, to count towards destroying, like, the entire Zerg base. I'm not sure. These Zerglings do like to get rebuilt, so if you take this base, you have to be prepared to hold on to it later. All right, Dark Templar doing a lot of damage. We've got to slowly wait for this creep to come back. What I'm going to do is leave these units down here, bring the Zealots down as well, and then everything new that I build, I'm going to leave up here. How much are Dark Templar? Relatively cheap. I'm going to start getting High Templar for Archons. Let's go ahead and queue up 4 of those. Never mind, we need more pylons. Now I have a lot of money, so probably more than I need realistically. So you queue all those up, and then let's go ahead and see if we can sneak a probe down here without it dying. It's probably going to run into a big Zerg attack. Okay, so we've got our High Templar here as well, and hopefully this is enough to survive. I've got more High Templar coming out. I'm going to make more Zealots and Dark Templar and Dragoons to go and attack later. I guess I can get Hallucination. I could hallucinate Zealots on my way in if I want to bring those units with me. Yeah, it looks like, wow, I can get ground weapons level 3. That seems crazy. So those units that are coming down are going to endlessly come down here. I think the main attacks won't divert down here. I don't think so, and also if they did, that would really suck, because these ramps, having to defend the bottom side of these ramps. The fact that that Overlord came over here, to me, means... Yeah, well, that was just a small amount of Zerglings. Here comes the main attack. Storm them. Storm them again. Storm them over here. Just got storm machines going on right here. Alright, and that's pretty much all we need for defense moving forward. So now we just make a nice attack force of Dark Templar, Zealots, Archons, so on and so forth. And we start moving out. So I do want to take this, but the creep is still receding. It takes forever to do. There's a nice little attack wave right there, so we can move on out. I could just leave my army right here, including the High Templar. Those Zerglings will continuously be reinforced. It might be worth my while to just set up 1 or 2 cannons. I do have an okay attack force here. I mean, I don't think it doesn't have the beef that I necessarily need. Yeah, chase around that Overlord, you clown.
There's no sign of Phoenix or Raynor. They must still be on Ire.
Yeah, okay, so the Zerg can only come to us from one direction, which is here. So I could leave my units here, or I could just back them up. I'll just back them up down here for now while we figure out exactly what we're going to want to do. Let's go ahead and set up our Nexus, an Assimilator, and then we'll get 1 pylon with like 2 cannons to defend against those endlessly respawning Zergling attacks that are going to keep coming to us. And more Dragoons and Dark Templar, and really anything we can afford. We'll eventually have a little bit of an abundance of gas. Did I not queue up more High Templar to make more Archons? I really thought I had, but I guess not. Get a few more pylons at our little pylon farm. We're going to run out of money at our main base. We could transfer all our probes down here. Realistically, I might even be able to go and attack now. There's spawning pools right on the edge. I feel like I could probably snag that. That'd be a little dirty, but I could do it. Nothing wrong with exploiting AI every so often, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and grab another cannon here. Doesn't hurt, and I'm just kind of keeping an eye out for when they're going to be coming in next. I'll be able to... I kind of see them clumping up. As long as I keep an eye on the mini-map. And I'm not going to try to transfer my probes until they attack again, because that would just be a huge mistake. We got +3 coming up. Ground armor level 2. I guess we'll get a second forge. We're at 24 minutes, not quite that 40-minute mark that I was joking about, but I don't know. Maybe I have enough to go and attack. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay. Start mining. I don't think I realistically need more probes. I just need to move these probes. I can get a couple more. I'm pretty low on supply right now. Zerg, I'm waiting for you. They're scared. All right, let's get a Dark Templar out there, because I really suspect the timing seems to be lining up that they should be coming and attacking me again pretty soon. There they are. There they are. Maybe they're going down to the bottom left this time. Yeah, they are. All right, everybody get down here. I don't have any High Templar down here, so I'm going to try to get some reinforcements over in this direction. This group right here was enough to survive, so I'm okay with that. Would like to get shields and +3 attack. I have no gas. Okay, so you guys get on gas. That also means we can take most of these probes and move them down here. All/most. Okay, and then this group, let's go ahead and start poking out. All right, one High Templar stay here. The other one has to stay here because it's not safe. It's not safe anywhere, apparently. I could save money and just make a huge defense over in this direction. Here's some new High Templar. Make into another Archon. And then I'm going to rally up a bunch of Zealots. I can't afford them, but I will once this all works out here. And you know, I'm setting up this. I'm setting up these new defenses, but realistically, I don't have to, because what's going to happen is we're going to catch all the new Zerg attacks that are coming to us along the way. So let's go across this bridge. Let's get more Zealots. We need more meat to this army. We've got a good amount of Dragoons, I think. Okay. Reavers would be really helpful, but I hate Reavers, and I built a single Reaver in Eye of the Storm, and my goal is to make no other ones. Try to get up there with our melee forces first. Very good. And again, this is the only direction they can realistically attack me from, so I can wipe them out. Try to stay a little consolidated. Here comes the next large attack that they were probably going to be moving out with soon. Make my rally point up here. Lots and lots of Zealots. My melee forces are the ones that are going to get wiped out really fast first. Okay, don't run down the ramp. Well, okay, run down the ramp, but we want to get everybody down there before we run our melee forces in to just die. All right, we found some of their production. We're also killing a lot of Overlords. Very cool. Let's swing down along the bottom part of the map and watch. Keep an eye out for where the Dragoons are coming from. Let's get everybody up here. Some Mutalisks. You know, there were no Mutalisks really combined in with the attack groups, which is very interesting. All right, we don't have any heroes we have to worry about, so I can just auto-attack my way through this base. We wiped out their large group of forces that were waiting to come and kill us, so we're in really, really good shape. All right, everybody move up here. They have stuff on the high ground here. That's kind of irritating. You gotta try to get rid of those Hydralisks because they're just pecking away at us. Okay, perfect. We have more Zealots that are coming down, and we're going to stop them from rebuilding too much, I think, by getting them up in there. Okay, getting rid of these hatcheries, which hopefully will stop them from producing drones, which will stop them from trying to rebuild constantly. Still, I realize, yeah, I still probably didn't have to take as long as I did on this map. But that's okay, you know, you never know what to expect, even though it's Mission 2. The fact that the whole tech tree was unlocked did make this a little frightening. I think, you know, I took as long as I needed to on this map. Frankly, it really wasn't that bad. High Templar, we won't merge you into an Archon. I will be benevolent. You can stay alive and live a long, healthy life rather than turning into a giant ball of energy that will just eventually be snuffed out. Okay. Oh, and they didn't rebuild anywhere. We caught all their drones out. Great.
Executor, my crew and I will remain here on Ire and shut the gate down on this side. It's the only way to make sure that the Zerg won't send more reinforcements to Shakuras.
You will be hopelessly outnumbered, and once the gate is shut down, there will be no one to save you should you be overrun.
Yeah, well, I'm a man of action. What can I say?
I shall remain with Raider as well, Executor. My duty is to Ire after all.
Farewell then, brave warriors. We will send through all the troops we can spare.
Thanks. You kids just remember to play nice from now on, okay? Wish us luck.
That was a cool little cutscene. You got to see the Hyperion up there. Let's see how we did. Let's see how we did. Very good. All right, I'm liking that our survival rate's still going to be up there. Probably not until later in the campaign are we going to start seeing really abysmal survival rates. All right, this has been Jay Barino. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.